Hey, it's Steve with Ad Machines. Thanks for stopping by today. Really excited to be sharing with you my water heater marketing plan. By the end of today's webinar, you're going to walk away with an understanding of how you can really focus your marketing efforts into promoting a specific product. And in this case, I'm going to show you everything you can do to generate more water heater sales. So my goal for you today is to discover how you can balance out and mix up your advertising dollars so you're maximizing your results and performance, and you're not going to be dependent on one source. If you're putting all of your eggs into one basket today, I'm going to show you how you can spread that out and how you can layer in different marketing and advertising sources to help you facilitate your goals, your water heater replacement goals. I'm going to show you how you can go up against big boxes and create a killer offer. So prospects are drawn into you and your business because you're the one that delivers the best perceived value and overall service. I'm going to show you how you can drill in and take a hard look at the numbers and performance metrics so you can confidently scale up and systematize your marketing for this one thing. Now, a lot of us, when we're spending money in advertising, we're spending it very broadly. We don't know the breakdown by business unit. So I'm going to show you what to look for and how you can see what your lead costs are at a business unit level. How much it costs for you to generate a water heater lead compared to maybe an emergency plumbing lead or a drain cleaning lead. You'll be able to look at this segment of your business, and I'll show you how easy it actually is to get this information. I'm going to show you some examples of some campaigns and how you can create a budget and keep one truck busy installing water heaters every day. That's a goal for many of my clients. They always ask, hey Steve, how can we keep one truck set up and busy just pumping out 2 to 3 water heaters a day? And how you can leverage new advertising technology to not only generate new leads, but to extract revenue from your existing customer base. A lot of you who are sitting on this webinar today might have a nice, healthy, established customer base. And that customer database is probably one of the last things that you're taking advantage of in your marketing. And I'm going to show you ways you can use today's pay-per-click to really get in front of existing clients and really extrapolate that lifetime revenue from that relationship. If you haven't sat through one of my webinars before, my name's Steve Tenorello, and I started working with digital marketing way back in 2002. So I've seen it all, and I work specifically with home services businesses. So I have a lot of experience in the plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical industries. I have a book out there, the Google AdWords Survival Guide, and my company, Ad Machines, we will probably manage this year a little bit over $10 million in ad spend, and we'll generate roughly 25,000 leads per month. We're not your traditional advertising agency. We're more of a technology and services provider, and that's who I am. So you may have seen our business here and there, or you've bounced around and may have seen some of our websites, but there's a lot of experience here in this organization in developing and generating water heater leads. So let's start off with the market opportunity. It's always a good idea to figure out, is there an opportunity for this? Should I invest the time, effort, and energy and resources to pursue generating water heater leads? And the answer is yes. According to the Energy Star, there are 27 million households that have a water heater that are more than 10 years old and are nearing their useful life. And Energy Star reports that 8% of households will replace their water heaters. So when we break that down, that's about 2.1 million households across the United States, which in your backyard, that's 80 out of every 1,000 homes will need a water heater in the next 12 months, or 1 out of 12 homes in your market. So when we look at your market, and I'll give you an example of just my city, and when we approach this, we want to approach this type of advertising as owning your backyard. You don't want to be too broad in your approach, but we want to really focus in on targeting areas that make sense for the business. So I live in Newburyport, Mass. It's a coastal community. We're right in the New Hampshire border in Massachusetts here. My office is right down the street. And in Newburyport, and I just pulled this information right from the city's website, there are 7,500 homes, 7,500 households in the city. And if I just do some back of the napkin math here, there are about 80 water heaters for every 7.5 or 7.5 thousand homes. So that's 600 units that will need to be replaced according to Energy Star in the next 12 months. So when I factor that into, a 220-day a year work year, that's 3 replacements a day. And if my average ticket is somewhere in the ballpark of 1,600, I'm doing pretty close to $1 million in sales just in this city. Now that's if you own the entire city, but that just gives you an idea of the opportunity size at an average ticket. So when you know what the opportunities are, you'll know if it's worth pursuing in your market. So how do you make the decision on what to target and where to go to generate leads? So obviously we just talked about geography. You can look at all the zip codes in the market and see which ones make the most sense. Usually, if you have the ability to go into your database and pull out water heater sales by zip code and look at your averages, that's probably the best place for information on what will work for you. There are specific demographics that you can go after. New homeowners. Let's say your ideal customer is a baby boomer with, kids are in college or they're out of the home. They have a certain income, $100,000 plus a year. Those are people that you can target. And lastly, your database. Especially if you've been in business for 5, 10, 15 years, you're going to have water heater replacements sitting in that database today. And I'll show you ways where you can extract that information. So, first things first, before we get started, it's always a good idea to craft the message first. We're going to put strategy before tactics and really focus in on putting together an offer that makes sense in the market, right? So I want to do that before I spend a nickel on any kind of advertising. So I'm going to walk you through my ad copy formula and really we're going to spitball some ideas. And at the end of this, you're going to walk away with a nice brainstorming exercise of how you can put together an offer and position a water heater replacement sale. So first, we're going to look at the speed factor. Now, speed is a huge element in putting together a water heater offer. It's one of those things typically, if a water heater fails, it's leaking, people are without hot water. So the faster you can respond, the better, or the better conversion you're going to get on your ad dollars. So, here's some ideas: same day replacement, next day replacement, depending on the time of day. Those are some obvious speed elements. Next, we're going to look at the next factor. That's the trust factor. What I like to do is just pull out different reviews from Facebook, from Google, from different social media places where I can find verified reviews, and I put that into the ad copy. I try to find the city and town where I'm trying to promote the service in addition to the product. So, if I'm installing in Newburyport, Mass, I want a Newburyport, Mass homeowner who has received a water heater installation from me. So that's the trust factor. Next, we're going to look at the local factor. And that's fairly simple. In your ad copy, we want to use a local phone number, not an 800 number. And that local prefix should match the local city and town prefix. So Newburyport, the area code is 978. I'm going to use that in my ad copy. Plus, I'm going to call out the name of the city or town, and I have 500 plus happy customers serviced in Newburyport. Or perhaps since 1982, I've installed more than 1,500 water heaters in Newburyport. So you're the local guy. You want to put that into your ad copy. Next, we want to establish an offer. And this is very simply answering the question, what do I do next? What do I do next as the homeowner? So, there's some ideas here. Call for phone pricing. A lot of plumbers don't like to give pricing over the phone. So if that is something that's happening in your market, perhaps you go in a different direction and you provide pricing over the phone. And when you're able to do that, and you're running a pay-per-click ad, for example, you don't have to be in the first position. You could be in the third position because the homeowner has already called 2 people and they're looking for a price over the phone. And if you do it right, you can get the opportunity. You can establish a price. $9.97 water heater special. Or you can go as far as putting together a financing package. If you have a financing partner, figure out the interest rate, your average ticket, break that down into a monthly rate, and here I'm saying it's $19 a month. Now these are 3 ideas. It doesn't mean you have to do that. You could get away with just positioning same-day replacement, call now for service. However, you don't see a lot of these different offers. I will tell you that the big boxes, this is how they promote their services. They will give you a price over the phone. They will promote a loss leader tank because for them, a water heater is a loss leader. There's not a lot of net profit on a tank. What that does for the big boxes is it opens up credit card accounts. It opens up a lifetime relationship with that homeowner. So for you, it's a little bit different. You're trying to maximize your net profit. You obviously have access to a premium product, better warranty. So those are things that you should consider when putting together your offer. So the next factor we're going to look at are the benefits, reduced energy costs, especially if you have an older tank. Now we're talking about a conventional water heater. With tankless, you have many more benefit statements that you can use, and that's a different marketing plan. Long-lasting, durable, consistent, reliable hot water. So the benefits need to answer the question, what's in it for me? What am I going to get out of this product, this service, this installation? All right, so we're just spitballing ideas here. It's always a good idea to write down your own ideas here and combine that into what we're doing. Next, we talk about the value factor. Perhaps you're including a 10-year warranty or a 12-year warranty. You're including a free drain pan to prevent future leaks. The value factor answers the question, if you and somebody else are apples to apples in your offering, what is it that you can do that's a little bit extra where you have more value for the dollar? So what can you package in your positioning here in your ad copy to really deliver more value? Free haul-away included, permit fees included, includes a 12-year warranty, includes a drain pan. And when you're able to establish the criteria with your value, these are now questions people are going to ask your competitors if they're shopping around. So in a situation where they're evaluating you against somebody else, they're going to ask questions like, hey, do you include the permit? Do you include the haul-away? Do you include the warranty? And if your competitor's saying, no, those are all extra costs, you now have a foot in the door to run this lead. So we're going to package in as much value as we can. Next, We want a promise. What's the bold promise that you can deliver that nobody is willing to do or say in your market? Maybe it's a 3-year labor warranty. You could say something as simple as, we stand behind our work with a leak-free labor guarantee, which means if for any reason your water heater leaks in the next 5 years, we'll install it free. So you could say something like that in your copy. So you want to think about the boldest promise that you can deliver that kind of makes your stomach turn a little bit. And when you have a feeling in your stomach that makes you want to turn, but you can stand behind it, that's when you know you have a good one. If you just say 100% satisfaction guarantee, that's kind of a so what statement. Everybody else says that. So you want to be very specific in your promise. Next, we want to talk about the differentiation factor. What makes you different compared to everybody else? Now, these are all small things, but they start to add up when you paint a bigger picture. How are you different? Well, we've been in business since 1982. Our experience, our long-term experience, thousands of happy customers. Look at our reviews. Our tanks are in stock. So if somebody looks at that on the surface, your competitors might have tanks in stock, but they're not selling it, but you are. So our tanks are in stock. We have a dedicated water heater truck. And since we do so many water heaters, we're specialists, and we can install them in 90 minutes or less guaranteed. So those are some ideas on what makes you different. A+ BBB rating, that's very common. You throw in the number of reviews, that's common. But you want to think about in terms of the product. And the more finite you are and more specific you are in your messaging, the better conversion you're going to get. Next, we want to make it easy. A lot of us put many obstacles in place when the phone rings. Dispatch fees, call-out fees, those are great, but they have to be worked in a way that doesn't prevent you from losing an opportunity. How can you make it easy for someone to do business with you? First appointment, 7 a.m., available today, available tomorrow. Saturday service, flexible evening appointments, financing available. We accept credit cards. So you want to think about all the objections that you might run into. Obviously, price is an objection. Timing is a stronger objection with water heaters. If you can't get to the water heater in 3 days, it's 3 days with this homeowner not having hot water. Who can deal with that? So you want to think about your time in this particular category. Can you do it on a Saturday? Can you do it early evening or right after work? What time's your first appointment? Next, the urgency factor. Now, it's a little bit different than speed. Urgency, the higher the ticket of something you're trying to sell, the easier it is to create urgency and demand. Usually urgency, you can tie back urgency with scarcity. So you have a limited quantity of something. You might have 3 water heaters in stock. And in this case, we're going to go back to time. 2 appointments available today. You can put that right in your ad copy. So this tells the homeowner, hey, I have 2 appointments available. Tick-tock, let's make a decision. So this will help you in your conversion. So what I like to do is, anytime we create an ad here at Ad Machines, we go through this brainstorming exercise with the client. And we come together and we create a sales letter. A real simple document that outlines all of these factors. And once you have a nice sales letter in place, you can use that for anything. You can use it for a postcard. You can mail the sales letter. You can use it in your pay-per-click ad copy. You can use it in the newspaper because it has everything that you need in one document. You can give them to your CSRs and they know what the offer is in a lot of detail. You can turn that into a phone script. So I like to create sales letters based off this information. And if you're looking for a water heater sales letter, I have of it already built out. I'm not going to read it to you. It's 2.5 pages. Just email me, steve@admachines.com. I'm happy to send you a free template. Just shoot me an email. Tell me that you want the water heater sales letter, and I'll shoot it right back to you in a Word document. And it gives you a nice format of everything that we have outlined here. All right, so now that we have the strategy down cold, I want to focus on the tactics. We want to talk about what we need to do to support campaigns. So I'm just going to get right into one campaign here. We'll talk about Google Ads. So there's a lot you can do with a Google ad today than about a year ago. There are a lot of different options that you can incorporate into your ads. And what you see here is my direct offer. All of my ad copy formula components, everything from my sales letter and my brainstorming exercise, you're going to find components of that in here. All right. And when you take the time to build out a really strong ad, you don't necessarily have to compete in the first position to generate a good lead. Just think about the last time you purchased something of value. Could be a truck, could be fishing equipment, hunting equipment. There's a good chance you may have clicked on an ad. And if it was an item that was expensive, you may have you took the time to read through the first ad or two before you made a decision, and the one that made the most sense you clicked on and you called. So now when I look at this ad, you're going to see I have my direct offer, the $997 water heater. I have my speed. You see the same day contractor, same day water heater. I'm putting that in a very specific place. That's my URL. I'm including the value, the tank, the installation. When you look below at the site links, you'll see plus get a 12-year protection. We'll double the warranty. I'm including tank under warranty, question mark. That kind of gives the buyer an idea that if they do have something today, there's a good chance that it might be covered if it's less than 10 years old or if it's still under warranty. Install before 5 o'clock, call now. I'm still putting the speed in there. I'm working on my differentiators, local since 1970, live answer, licensed insured, family owned. I have my local phone number. So I'm hitting on all my reviews are there. I'm hitting on all of my ad copy formula components in this ad. And Google has done a good job of allowing advertisers to really expand the ads. You can now put a lot of information in your ads now compared to about a year ago. Let's take a look at another ad here. This one is a little bit different. We're not advertising a price. Water heater replacement today. We're really selling the speed. Newburyport's local plumber, 500 plus reviews in stock, same day service, 2 appointments available. Call now. There's my scarcity or my urgency. I have my same differentiators. I'm putting my benefits in there, energy efficient, long lifetime, consistent hot water. And then I have my value, double the warranty, leak-free guarantee. So a good pay-per-click manager is going to come up with a couple different ads compared to everybody else in your market. You want to go in a different direction. And then what I'm going to do when I set up my campaigns, I'm going to run 3 ads at the same time, side by side. And Google will tell you how people are reacting to your ads. That has everything to do with your click-through rate. The higher the click-through rate, the better the performance of your ad copy. Now that's one component of it. That also your keywords have a lot to do with that, but you can split test, do a 3-way split test on your campaign, run 3 ads at the same time, and see how people are reacting. Now you don't have to run 3 different offers. You just run 3 of the same offers a little bit differently. You might flip a word. You may use a different word. In this case, I'm using same day service available now, local plumber available today. It's basically the same thing, but it's that little nuance that will help you get another inch or two out of your ad copy. So that's something you want to consider when you're building ads. And we're going to come back to a Google ad campaign in a second. First, I want to talk to you about the client experience. So when the prospect lands, they click on an ad, no matter where they came from, was it a postcard or a Google ad, what is that experience? What does it look like? So I'm going to walk you through a landing page. And I'm going to start with a mobile landing page. And again, I'm going to move this over here so you can see that. So here's my mobile landing page. Now this is built on my platform, Machine Sites, and this thing performs really well. And one of the reasons it performs well is because we're including all of the ad copy formula components above the fold. So I have my local factor up here. I have my click to call built in right where the thumb is, so it makes it really simple for somebody to click and call you now. They don't have to stretch their thumb on mobile. And the reason I'm showing you mobile first is because about 70% of your water heater leads should be coming in through a mobile device. Most people are going to bring their phone with them to the source of the leak or the problem, and they're going to take action on their mobile phone. That's when you know you have a good lead. If you make more of an investment on your mobile device, you're going to get actionable leads. Whereas your desktop, you're going to find people who like to shop. So you want to blend the two together. And I'm definitely going to spend more on mobile than I will on desktop in my pay-per-click campaigns. So here I have my direct offer, my warranty. You see I have 3 different ways I can contact them. Phone number up here, request a callback. I have mobile forms that are styled just for mobile, so we can collect information right from the device. You're going to find maybe a lot of your competitors, that if they have forms at all, they stretch out. They're not responsive. So our landing page platform includes Google AMP, makes it really fast. I think we get about a 99% or 100% score on the Google speed test. Everything here has everything to do with the experience. So I have all the factors built in above the fold. If people still want information, they can scroll down. Multiple call to actions throughout. It's a nice clean page. More than 500 water heaters installed this year. You see how I'm working in my ad copy formula. I have my company story, company video, family picture, happy customers, and we're spinning our reviews here. So we're showing them a few different reviews. And then we have our sales letter. We've made some edits to it. So we have our copy there. You're going to find that there are people that like to take action right away. There are people who like to watch videos, people who like to read. So the landing page is functional for all those different types of buyers. I have my offer again. So this landing page has everything to do with this one thing, the water heater. So it's important that when you put out an offer that everything is consistent. I don't want to drop my traffic off on a home page. I certainly don't want to drop my traffic off for a water heater on a plumbing page. I just want to talk about water heaters. What did people search? What was their intention? And I want to keep that experience consistent on my landing pages. So that gives you an idea of what the mobile format looks like. Now we're tracking everything here. These are tracking lines. Here's the desktop version. So we support this campaign with a really attractive landing page. And the goal of this landing page is to convert. So, for every 10 clicks that we get or for every 10 visits, I want to be able to measure how many of those will turn into a lead or opportunity. And if you're getting more than 20%, you're doing something right. Our landing pages perform much higher than that. I think this one we're getting 5 out of 10. So there you have it. Those are landing pages. When you have the right landing pages in place, you'll be able to control your conversion. And the higher your conversion rate, the lower your cost per lead, because you're making your ad spend much more efficient. So there you have it. This is the hub of everything for all these campaigns. A landing page will trigger a lot of different actions. So I'm going to talk to you about some campaigns that you can implement, and talk to you about the triggers that your landing page can do for you throughout a campaign. So let's talk about driving traffic. We talked about Google Ads. So I'm going to be talking about Google and Bing. Whatever you can do on Google, you can do the same thing on Bing pretty much. So just as I go through this is a concept that you can incorporate into your current campaign. So let's talk a little bit about keywords. Keywords are the starting point for all things Google. When you have a portfolio of keywords, those are going to determine the quality of your traffic. And you can use positive keywords and negative keywords. So when I put together a campaign, my campaign structure includes all the different types of terms that would trigger a water heater ad. So I'm just running a water heater campaign in Google that gets layered on top of my other campaigns. And inside of that I have ad groups. We run about maybe 50 to 75 different ad groups here of different concepts, and you'll see. So here's different categories that we have built into our water heater campaigns. We have sizes, 50 gallon, 40 gallon. You can put together the different types of sizes. People type that into Google. We have models and brands, Rheem, A.O. Smith, etc., etc., etc. You can bid on those terms. Big box terms, Home Depot water heater, Lowe's water heater, Menards water heater. You can go after those terms. Troubleshooting, water heater won't start up, water heater delivers cold water, terms like that. You can run repair terms in your replacement campaign. I like to separate the two, but you can do that as well. If your goal is to sell replacements only, you don't want to do any repair work, then you would put your repair into your replacement campaign. Replacement terms, water heater replacement, water heater installation, water heater prices, estimates, quotes, water heater service. Is it a gas water heater, electric water heater, commercial, residential? Plumbers who install water heaters, contractors who install water heaters near me, water heaters installed near me, any mobile intent. So you want to think about how people might talk to their phone. Siri, find me a water heater replacement company. Best water heater, most trusted water heater contractor. Water heaters with the warranty. So you want to think about all the different categories that will drive in traffic. Now, keywords follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of your traffic are going to go to the core terms. There's no science here other than you got to see what's going to help you generate a lead. So if somebody types in the term water heater replacement, you're going to get a lot of traffic off of that one term. You might get 50 clicks in a given month. You might get one click for 50-gallon water heater replacement. But the goal of putting in as many relevant keywords as possible is to drive down your costs, because there's a good chance that your competitor is not bidding on the term 50-gallon water heater replacement. They're bidding on the broad term. So you can go in and bid $2 a click for the longer term, where your more expensive term might cost you $10-15. So when you have a really tight portfolio of keywords, you can start to diversify and balance out your costs. If you're just bidding on a handful of high traffic keywords, you're losing out on the opportunity to go after long tail terms that will help you reduce your lead costs and get you a better result with your marketing. So with that, there's also another component to this, which is your negative keywords, and you want to think about all of the types of categories that you don't want to service, the traffic you want to prevent, all of the noise, the low lead quality that might come in to a campaign. So parts, water heater parts, clicks for competitors. Maybe there's somebody who owns a trailer or an RV and they're looking for somebody to install a water heater. You might do that, you might not want to do that. That's up to you. And if you don't want to do that, you put that into the negative category. You want to watch out for do-it-yourselfers, information on how to do things. There's an argument here that you might want to, if you're a bigger company, you might want to attract the do-it-yourselfers because they might start the project and you educated them on how to do it. And when they messed up, they came to you. But for the most part, you can exclude this traffic. Cheap terms. So, the way you set up your keywords will help you refine your lead quality. So when you combine a really strong ad with a strong keyword strategy, you're going to get a really high click-through rate, and that's the goal. Because the higher the click-through rate, the more clicks you're going to get that are relevant to your sales funnel. So now, let's take it a step further. Let's talk about all the things you can control in the Google AdWords pay-per-click campaign. So I can control the timing of the ads. What do we know about water heaters? When do people find out that they have failed? First thing in the morning and maybe late at night, right? So I have the ability to customize a schedule. I like to run my water heater campaigns 24 hours a day, because that's a nice size, consistent lead-in opportunity. There's really no telling what time something is going to fail. So I want to run that ad 24 hours. And what's nice about the way I have it set up, I have it separated from my emergency campaigns, my emergency plumbing campaigns. So, those might be timed from 8 to 5. My water heater campaigns are humming in the background 24 hours a day. So it's a nice way to balance out the different types of leads and opportunities that you get. Next, we talk about location. You can run this ad in one zip code if you wanted to. You can run it in the entire United States. In this case, I'm running it in 38 local cities and towns, and I'm excluding countries. And I'm excluding certain states where I know this client is getting a lot of telemarketing traffic. So I don't want this ad to trigger in certain areas. So with Google, I can control who sees the ad, which locations. I can also exclude that. I can also customize my ad copy, so I'm including the name of the city or town in my ad. The device, we talked about mobile. About 70% of your water heater leads will come in through a mobile device. I can control which device is going to get the most action through bid adjustments. It used to be, in order to run ads on a mobile device, you would have to piggyback off of a desktop campaign. That's not the case anymore. I can run just a mobile-only campaign. I don't have to run this ad on desktop. I'm doing both in this example, and I'm giving mobile a kicker on my bid adjustment. Next, position. This particular client, we're having a lot of success in a 1.2, 1.3, which means he toggles between first and second position throughout the day. We're running at 24 hours. That doesn't mean I'm not going to have success in position 2 or 3. We test that, so that's something to look for. And just, really quick, you can see my click-through rates on that chart as well. I have click-through rates over 2%, 20%, close to 5%, over 11%. And I have a broad category there where I'm getting a lot of traffic. So I have nice diversification in my performance there based on positioning. So, it all averages out at the end of the day. And you want to find out which position is going to work best for you and your business and how that complements your overall strategy. So my advice would be to start in the third or fourth position and stay there and come up one week, come down another week, and see what kind of response you're getting. Next, we'll talk about the audience. I can exclude a certain audience with Google. I'm going to show you another campaign up ahead on using audiences, custom audiences. I can exclude men ages 18 to 35, women 18 to 35. If your best customers are the ones that are over 35 years old and own homes, then you can exclude this ad from the younger demographic. And I like to do a lot of that because a lot of your noise comes from people who work in sales jobs that are 18 to 35. Other technicians that might click on your ads ages 18 to 35 from other companies. So I want to exclude different types of audience segments. You could do that with Google now. Budget. So here's a big topic. We're going to take some time on this. So earlier I talked to you about how you can determine your budget. So I am using Google conversion tracking, which means I'm tracking the effectiveness of every single keyword in my campaign. And each keyword, I can see how many leads came in as a result of that keyword. So when I set that up correctly, I'm able to see at this particular campaign level, since this campaign is all about water heaters, my average cost to generate a lead is $40.83. So over this time frame, about 3.5 months roughly, I've generated 207 leads off of 657 clicks. All right. So my cost per conversion is $40.83. So that's how much my leads are costing me. Now my landing page effectiveness, you don't see that here. But if I take my total conversions, those are my total leads divided by clicks, I'm getting 31.5% lead conversion on this campaign, which is really strong. So this is performing nice and healthy. This is a scalable campaign, and I have an unlimited budget going towards it because the numbers just get better the more I spend. So now that I know how much my lead costs, and you can set this up with lead conversion as long as you have your account set up in a way where it's broken down by division. And I would break it down by emergency plumbing, local plumbing, drain cleaning, sewer repair replacement, water softening, every single category that you service or sell or run ads for. You break it down to the smallest component. Now you're going to have a good read on how much it costs for you to generate a lead. You might find that you have a category that is $12 a lead, and your emergency plumbing is $110 a lead. And the more you add into this and start balancing it out, the numbers start to balance out, and you really get a handle on cost per acquisition. So if your numbers are really good in water heaters, you might take some away from water softening and put it right into water heaters. So when you have this information, you can make budget decisions. Now this is only if you have access to Google AdWords. You should be able to see this information. You might be in a relationship where you don't see anything and you have to pay up front, and you're given dashboards and things like that. So you want to make sure that you have over-the-shoulder access to look at this information, and that's when you know you have a good pay-per-click company. Is they'll share this with you and they'll walk you through it, and they do everything right, and they don't hide it from you. So My lead cost $40.83. We're going to round that up to 41. So if my CSR is a booking 1 out of 5 out of 10, 50%, I need 4 leads a day to run 2 replacements if those are my numbers. So this will help you determine your daily budget. What should you be spending on water heaters to get 2 replacements a day? You can answer these questions when you have this information. So I need 4 leads because I'm going to book 2 of them at $41 a piece. That's $164 a day. You need a monthly budget of $3,280 to run 2 replacements a day. That means it costs you $82 to run a water heater job. Now this is in a major market, so that might be on the high side, but it's not bad. At least you know what your numbers are, and you can factor everything into that, your costs and your profit, and what goes into keeping your business in a healthy frame of mind. So that's something that you want to consider, and this is something you can certainly control in Google when you have it set up the right way. So I'm hoping you walk away with this campaign with the information you need to make adjustments and really take advantage of the tools in front of you to get the visibility you need to get this kind of momentum. Bing, really it's plug and play with Bing. Once I have a nice healthy campaign going with Google, all this is really is just cloning it into Bing and managing it. It's a very similar interface. I put my information in here and I could set up my campaigns and they run very similar to Google. Alright, next campaign, we're going to talk about some banner advertising. What you're going to need to do this is a graphic designer to build you some attractive banner ads, and you want to brand them with your company logo, and you want it to be consistent to the landing page. So I'm carrying in the imagery from my landing page here. And Google, there's probably 10 different sizes that you can create. I want to make sure I create one for every size. And I'm going to do a couple different things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a remarketing campaign on the Google Display Network. So when somebody lands on my landing page, and they can come to your landing page from a TV commercial, from a Google campaign, from direct mail, newspaper, wherever you have that person coming from, as soon as they land on that landing page, you're going to trigger a remarketing campaign because there's a piece of special code Google gives you. You put it into the landing page, and now wherever you go as a homeowner, you're going to see the ad following you. And this is the Buffalo Bills website. Here's an example of the ad following the person. Now, people get busy. They're looking at different options. There's all these reasons why people don't convert. I'm converting about a little bit more than 30% on that particular campaign. So that means 70% of people are still actively buying. You're going to find you're probably going to be able to rebound at least 10 to 15% of clicks through remarketing. So it's a very smart execution because it's almost like an insurance policy. It gets people to come back. Since you've already spent a premium on the click, remarketing is very inexpensive and it's highly targeted. So those people are going to come back to you, and you'll be able to increase your conversion through remarketing. So you set up a remarketing campaign, and that campaign will follow this person wherever they go, and you can set the duration. It could be 90 days, 120 days. It could be a full year. It's really up to you. With plumbing, you may want to remarket for the lowest amount of time. I would definitely recommend for your water heater campaign to run a water heater remarketing ad. Some people, what we like to do, like an emergency plumbing campaign, if they're multi-trade, we'll run a loss leader HVAC campaign for a tune-up or something. That way we're taking advantage of that list. Because if somebody's looking for emergency service it might not make sense to remarket emergency service because you're looking for somebody now, somebody fast. It's all based on the conversion rates you're getting. Next, here's a smart thing you can do with Google. There's this new, fairly new feature called in-market audiences. It's been around for some time. Google's recently expanded it with their rebranding of Google Ads. And essentially what this means, I can run the same ad, but instead of people who've landed on my landing page, these are people that Google knows are actively searching for water heater products and services in your market. So as long as there's a list and an opportunity there, you can put display ads in front of people who don't even know you exist that are actively out there looking at this kind of information. So Google is able to identify those people, create a list for you, and you can market to them. That's called in-market audiences. It's a separate campaign that you would run in your pay-per-click account. Next, we talk about remarketing on Facebook. It works very similar to the Google Display Network. Facebook gives you what's called a pixel that goes on your landing page. It's a piece of code. And when somebody, clicks on the page, a cookie drops in their browser, and when they go to Facebook, they'll see your ad following them wherever they go. You can do a banner ad here. You can also do a feed ad. You have a lot of different advertising options with Facebook, and that's just one more thing you can do to really put an insurance policy in place to protect your ad budget. Next, this is fairly new this year. LinkedIn remarketing. If you have a lot of professionals that you work with, white collar kind of people, and you find a lot of blue collar people here as well. It's just professional people who I'm on LinkedIn at least once or twice a week. You might be on LinkedIn as well. You can run a feed ad here. You can also run a banner ad. Remarketing is fairly inexpensive. Set up a small budget and just let your landing page feed the lists, and this will pipe up automatically. So this is where your layering comes in place. Once you build this, just let it run. Next, you can remarket on YouTube. If you're making investments on TV, even radio, take the copy, take the asset, turn it into a video. Next time somebody lands on your landing page and then they go to YouTube, they'll see the ad wherever they go. Now, keep in mind, YouTube is becoming increasingly popular for a source of entertainment and news for people. They have a subscription now. They're going up against cable companies. They're trying to sell their own version of a cable service. So you start to see an older audience on YouTube, and you can control the demographics. You can really control who is going to see the ad. Now keep in mind, if you're just doing remarketing on YouTube, these are people who have already landed on your landing page, right? Next, we talked about in-market audiences on the display network. You can do the same thing on YouTube. Now imagine having the ability to run TV commercials to just people who need water heaters in your market. That's essentially what you can do here on YouTube. You can run YouTube ads to people who are looking for water heater information. And you can put that right in front of them. So it's highly, highly targeted. Execution doesn't cost all that much. It takes more time and energy to set it up, if anything. Next, Google Customer Match Campaign. Now, there's a good chance you're not doing any of this. So I'm going to keep on going here and talk to you about some advanced things that you could be doing with pay-per-click to really balance things out. It doesn't have to be acquisition, acquire a new client. You can take a small portion of your pay-per-click budget and apply it and sprinkle it into these different areas to really help you get a better result. Now this is really interesting. This is one of my new favorite types of campaigns that we're doing with clients, especially clients who have a big database size. What you can do is take your database and upload it to Google. And when you get there, you can see how many of your clients in your database will populate as a list inside of Google. And what this does, this allows you to take your water heater campaign, for example, and I can increase my bid adjustment 100% to anybody who is in my established customer database. So you take a CSV file, put it into Google, and if your clients are out there looking for water heaters, you're going to increase your probability by increasing your bid adjustment to get back in front of them. There's a misconception that people are loyal, they remember who you are. That's not always true. If you serviced somebody a few years ago and they're looking for a water heater now, there's a good chance they're looking for, they're typing in water heater replacement instead of the name of your company. So this is a protection plan to keep a rope around your clients. You've already paid the money to acquire the client. Why wouldn't you pay a little bit more to do business with them again? And that will help you extend the lifetime value of that relationship. And you can do that here with Customer Match. Now, if you've had bad luck with pay-per-click in the past and you're just trying to get going again on it, you can limit your campaign to just target existing customers. And what's nice about this is if you've ever asked yourself, oh man, I'm spending all this money on pay-per-click, but I'm getting a lot of my return customers, you'll be able to measure that and actually see who's coming in from the spreadsheet. You'll be able to see how many clicks you got and the average cost per conversion just on your existing base. So something very interesting that we started to work with. It's fairly new. And it's working out really well. We're starting to see numbers that are coming in that are helping our clients reduce their lead costs and get a better result overall with their pay-per-click performance. So Customer Match by Google. All this is in your pay-per-click account. It's really simple to set up. All you got to do is upload a spreadsheet. All right, so we've talked about campaigns that are more direct. Anybody can set up a Google campaign, with half a brain and get it to work to a certain extent. They may not even be good at creating ads. It could be just technical. So, there's some talent and skill required to use the following types of campaigns in your marketing mix. Next, I'm going to talk to you about two-step marketing campaigns. First one, email marketing. You have a nice healthy list of email addresses, or maybe you're working on an email list. You can use a service like MailChimp. And what we want to do, and I shared with you a landing page where we put an offer in place. Next, what I want to do is create a nice piece of content, 10 warning signs of a failing water heater. So, this is one of many pieces of content that we'll create here at Ad Machines. And instead of blasting your list with offer after offer after offer, I want to build value, strengthen the relationship, and really give people the information that they might be looking for. So what I'm going to do is I want to drive traffic to this page. This is a content page. It's a landing page. I just put a piece of content on it. And the way I do that is I create an email, really simple email. 10 warning signs of a failing water heater. Can you imagine life without hot water? Read our recent article and discover what you could do to prevent a major disruption in your home. So on and so forth. So I'm selling the article. Click here to read the article now. Somebody clicks on it. They read it. That's the first step. I created interest. Now I want to convert. So what do I have next to it? I have a banner ad. Replace your water heater at $9.97. And I have a few of those on the page. If I scroll down, there's large box graphic, and that's my conversion element. And I just drive people to the landing page. And this is where I capture their information and they become a lead. So highly effective if you're trying to sell something to your existing customer base. Pump them with value, create the interest, and then send the offer. That doesn't mean I can't send the offer too. I might, 7 days from now, I might just send the offer. Back to school savings, $9.97 water heater campaign, and I'll send that to the list. And you'd be surprised what, even if you had 1,000 emails in your database, what kind of result you can get. On a slow day, you can really create some activity through email. Now, at the same time, I'm going to take the same concept of two-step marketing, create interest and convert, using the same assets. I don't have to go crazy creating things. I already have it wired up. I just have to look at my advertising sources. So the next thing I'm going to do, just like the Google Customer Match campaign, I can upload my customer database and I can create what's called a custom audience inside of Facebook. And even if your customers haven't landed on the landing page, I can at least put an ad in front of my customers who are currently on Facebook with the same information. So I definitely, if you're going to launch a Facebook campaign, launch it with your house list first and see how it performs. And after that, what you do is you look at your top 10 zip codes, top 10 best places to run water heater calls, and you create mini city campaigns targeting your best ideal fit. You can target homeowners on Facebook over age 40 who are female, who earn $100,000. You can really get detailed on who you want to target on Facebook. And we very simply put an ad in front of them. It's the same thing we're using on email. It's just a different format. 10 warning signs of a failing water heater. They see this in their feed. I don't have an offer in front of them. I'm not trying to sell them anything. That keeps the relationship going. They may click on it. They may not click on it. I'm not spending a lot here. I might get a few clicks. I'm definitely going to generate leads from this execution. They land on the page. They convert. They go to the conversion page, and that's two-step marketing. Create the interest, convert, and deliver value. So let's recap. Run a little bit over time here. So here's what we talked about. I talked to you about how to size up your market, how to give your prospects an experience that gets them to take action with landing pages that work. We spent a lot of time on mobile landing pages. I showed you how you can control your results on Google and Bing, how you can create a scalable pay-per-click budget using conversion tracking and by really segmenting your campaigns inside of Google, how you can automatically follow up with prospects using remarketing on the display network, Facebook and LinkedIn, how you can use YouTube as a way to build your brand and stay in front of interested prospects, how you can use the in-market audiences, people who are actively searching for water heater replacements, and use the Google Display Network and YouTube to get in front of them. I showed you how you could put a rope around your existing customers using Google's Customer Match by increasing your bids. And just now, how to use two-step marketing and email to build value, create interest, and generate leads with your existing customers, and how to effectively use Facebook to stay top of mind with existing customers and create interest with your ideal prospects and your service area by creating two-step city campaigns. So if you do all of these 10 things and you layer them in and they work together, you're going to have a really solid result, and you'll be able to identify what works, what doesn't work, and where to put more funds. And you're not dependent on just one source to generate water heater leads. So if you're looking for help, you want to put something like this in place, we can certainly help you here at Ad Machines. Feel free to reach out. You can go to admachines.com. You can call us 877-835-6004. You can email me personally, steve@admachines.com. Happy to answer any questions for you. And I'm hoping you got a lot of value out of today's webinar. You're walking away with how you can balance out and mix up your advertising so you're not dependent on one source. How you can go up against big boxes and really create an ad that will deliver the best value in a competitive situation. Really hope you walked away with an understanding of how important it is to get transparency in your pay-per-click account and how you can drill in and take a hard look at the numbers so you can make decisions that can help you scale up the things that work and drop the things that don't work. And with this, I'm hoping you can walk away with staying busy with one truck, getting water heaters installed every day, 2 to 3 a day, and really be known as the water heater guy in your market. And how you can use all of this new advertising technology to extract revenue from your existing customers and generate new leads. So I'm glad you stuck with me here. Feel free to reach out and contact me if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you. Look forward to the next marketing campaign. If you have any questions about this, or if you got a lot of value from it, please let me know. Always interested to hear from you. And thank you for your time.